Welcome to the Midsters Podcast, your podcast for inspiration on being bold and saying yes to making the most out of your midlife. Kim, thank you for being here. I'm so glad you're here today with Leslie Ann and I, and it's going to be a fun topic as those that view can see what's in front of me and what's near you. So we're going to talk a little bit about what you've done, but I'm very interested in your journey and your story.
Hey.
We are the same age.
Yes.
And we've lived and raised kids in the same area.
Mm-hmm.
And you did an incredible pivot, and you are full of energy and grit. Can you tell listeners a little bit about yourself to begin with?
Sure.
And how you've launched this incredible product for women, the Cocoloco line.
Okay, sure.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I'll start. I have 4 children, and I stayed home for many years, and they went to school in the same area that your children did. And then when they started to go off, I decided to go back to work. So I went back to work for a healthcare system here in the Washington, D.C. area. And I was on the marketing side of things. So when COVID hit, I literally could not do my job. So I thought to myself, this is when I follow my passion. And raising the children, and also I've been always very careful about reading ingredients of what I put on their bodies and in food. And a lot of times companies say we're natural, we're organic, and then I would read the labels. I'm like, you're not. You're not. So, I was also noticing my skin was changing when I turned 50. I was like, where's that dewy skin that we used to have? So I thought I'm going to fly out and to LA. And that's actually because I did my due diligence on the top cosmetic chemist, and I wanted to come up with a product that was going to do it all. So it took 4 years to come up with the entire line, but this product right here is an all-over body with retinol. But every single ingredient in here does the most amazing things. So, and also, like I said, took 4 years to come up with the line. I picked the most beautiful Italian glass,
It is a gorgeous product.
Thank you.
The packaging is beautiful.
And the branding I worked with. And of course, it was a friends and family company that helped me get, my brand down. But this is a special product. And I went back 5 times with a cosmetic chemist to get the texture right, to get the scent right. And actually now, when I sell this, because I tell people, put this on your bedside table so you remember to use it. Because with retinol, you need those cells turning over.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a gazillion products with retinol for face,
right?
But not all over body. And our tagline is body care everywhere. And we literally are everywhere.
Well, I'm curious, when you were a teenager and going and moving into your 20s, I know I was a lotion potions girl.
Yes.
I always loved smelling good.
Yes.
I always loved fun, nice things on my skin. Were you the same way? Have you always been into like beauty and self-care?
I've always taking care of my skin. And I mean, one thing I do somewhat regret is the sun. At the time we loved it, but I was noticing. And another product, which we were just in the Purist magazine for, is our hyperpigmentation oil. And it gets rid of those yucky brown spots.
And we all, as we age, we get those as well.
Yeah. So I was just going to show you a teeny bit. And I now send this along with folks when we sell this. So you don't need that much. Like that's all you need for your arm. But it sinks right in. Cocoa silk. And the reason why we're Cocoloco is everything starts with fractionalized organic coconut oil.
Okay.
But the scent, like I said, is
I smelled it. It is, yeah. And it is light. And your skin is completely dewy. I mean, you have the most beautiful skin. Let me ask you this. I know Leslie Ann will probably have some questions as well. Well, first of all, were you a risk taker as a child?
It's funny because in business.
Okay.
I've always, and my mom started a successful company. So I watched her build her business. So I would say in business.
Okay,
more
because
so.
this takes courage to
Mhm.
step out and do something. Finances, courage. You're putting yourself out there for failure as well.
Yes.
So, yeah, there must be some resilience in you as well to be able to like, okay, I can bounce back from this.
Well, and I have to tell you, my team is so important to me. We have the most amazing team. And matter of fact, it was interesting. I've got a picture there of our team there.
Tell me about that.
Okay, so my COO is my baby sister.
Okay.
And she has 3 children that are all in college and moving on. And then I'm in the middle there. I have 4 children. And then our chief creative officer and Mary is on our advisory board, has 5.
Wow.
All of our children went to preschool together. And, we are working and traveling, and they are really, they just do so much for Cocoloco.
Okay, geez, 3 of you have this much energy every day, like in that picture.
We really do.
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Mary and I are getting ready to head out to Aspen. And so now Cocoloco, we can honestly say we are coast to coast.
Okay.
So we're really big into going into communities, and you can find us. We're in a dozen we're in beautiful curated boutiques nationwide, in med spas, and in resorts.
Okay.
And so that's where you can, and on our website.
Let me ask you a question, because I'm fascinated by the fact that you didn't even start this until COVID. So we're talking 4 or 5 years ago.
And in her 50s.
And in her 50s. But in those 4 or 5 years, you've gone coast to coast.
Yes.
I don't want to be rude asking this question, but how much product do you sell?
Well, we started out slow. I was a little bit scared, but we've been scaling up. And that's a really good question. As a matter of fact, my sister's husband, this is what he does, is he worked for Amazon in Seattle, and then they came back and they're in Virginia now. And he gives me advice on, how much product I need to produce.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes back and looks at, and I have a wonderful platform. My website I'm so incredibly proud of our website, but it's a Shopify platform. So I can go in and look at the analytics and I can tell you, Christmas almost did me in, because right now I'm not using a fulfillment center. So I'm shipping, my sister's shipping, and I can tell you, oh my goodness. It was a lot. And so, we're scaling up as quickly as we possibly can. But I have an idea of when I sell to certain, like now that I'm getting my spas in order, how much product they're going to want. And so it's a process.
Because you're growing, you're selling more and more and more.
Yeah.
So do you feel behind the 8 ball sometimes?
Well, our company have not taken investors. So self-funded, women-owned, women-run. And it's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just kind of wanted, the reason I asked that, I want to sort of pause on that for a minute for our listeners out there. Like, you take a risk.
Oh, for sure.
And you put a lot of time and energy in. You might not immediately in the first year see the kind of sales or growth, but then it comes over time.
It does.
And so it's sort of the lesson that I would think, but you could tell me if it's not the correct lesson, is trust yourself. Have faith in yourself and your product.
Okay. So I did a podcast last week, and that was a question where the interviewer said, Kim, what would you give as far as advice? And I said, you got to just trust yourself and go with your gut. And so to answer your question too, we are just still breaking even, where we have not, I am not going into massive debt doing this, because I feel like I'm scaling at the right, and I have good advisors to help us. But my gut is telling me to go to these communities, and I'm going to really fun places too. And so and also, I think I mentioned this to you guys in the beginning. Do you see how much fun we're having right there?
Yes.
And I did meet with a potential, investor, and they wanted to hear what my goals were. And I have all of my business goals. But I thought that's important to me, is we're going to have fun with this. We're in our 50s. Why not?
Exactly.
I did the hardest job in the world raising 4 children. And that's just like, there is nothing. Like yesterday when I was doing my podcast, they couldn't get the audio right. But I stopped her. I said, I have 4 children. I am used to complete and utter chaos. I know all about this. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I love that you said just go with it and believe in yourself. We recently had a podcast guest, and I can't remember exactly her terminology, but in your 50s, you've like earned the right to trust yourself. Like you know yourself. We should not be questioning.
Yeah.
But yet we just tend to at times.
I know. And like I said, this is the other piece of advice. She asked me 2 pieces of advice. So I talked about, just you've got to have passion. Yeah, to have passion.
And that's the other thing in this stage of life that I think we need to lean into more. It isn't necessarily about making the most money, but you're doing something you clearly enjoy.
Yeah.
And you're creating something that people clearly enjoy. And that is a gift in and of itself.
It is. And I can't tell you when I get people calling me and texting me and saying, Kim, you have changed my skin. You've changed my skin. Matter of fact, there was a girl in New York and she sent me a text. And then I said, will you please video yourself doing this? I mean, telling me this. And she said that she has people stopping her. What are you doing? What are you doing now? You've definitely got things,
Your skin's like that, though, Kim. It is very noticeable. Would you agree?
I hope that people who watch the video, I hope that people do watch this video instead of just listening because they have to see you.
Thank you.
I mean,
and I live it, I breathe it, and it's important. And that's why we have a scrub to exfoliate. And I know, Marianne, that
I love your scrub. You know it.
But we need to use a product like this all over our bodies. It just gives it.
I'm sitting here looking at your glow on your arm as well. I'm like, what the heck? This is wonderful.
So let me share also this little guy. And it's funny because I think I need to go up with my price points. Oh, the other thing too is I kept everything under 100. I think I mentioned.
Yeah.
Now that we were in the Purist magazine, we were the editor's pick for spring of 2025. This is hyperpigmentation oil. So I think I mentioned a little bit, but what I do is when I'm doing these trunk shows, I'm a lefty, so I'm always showing people on this hand the product, and I'm not using it on this hand. So literally you can see my before and my after.
I mean, it truly is different.
And then I use this.
There's no arguing in that.
And I was a lifeguard, and so I had both the sunspots on both hands, but it fades. And the active in this is lemon peel oil.
Really?
It's so simple and clean. And that's what I keep saying is that you don't have to create all, these very
chemicals.
It's simple. It's clean. Vitamin C, vitamin E, fractionalized organic coconut oil to start. And so 8 ingredients, everything is very, very simple and clean. So this little guy, a matter of fact, my friends were always like, Kim, I need more, because my friends, that their children are getting married, and she had all these sunspots on her chest. She goes, what do I use? I said, well, of course you need to use this before you go to bed at night. Now, it will make you more susceptible to the sun. So I say, use it before you go to bed. And this every morning will help fade those spots. She was religious about putting on her chest. And at the wedding, she's like,
oh, that's so great.
Anyway, but I love this little guy. So this is $40.
Okay.
So that's where I laugh. Sometimes people are like, is it really that good if it's that cheap? I'm like, it is. But now
I can see it on your hands.
Yeah. And now we have the big one. So that was for all over body.
But you branched off in other directions as well.
Sure did. Okay. So
tell us about it.
Okay. Well, so when we launched, 4 years to come up with this, we went to the largest industry trade show in Las Vegas. It's called Cosmoprof. And I submitted to win an award. And at the time, I think it was Cocoa Silk. Oh, and everything starts with Cocoa. Cocoa Silk, Cocoa Light, and then Cocoa Wow. Cocoa Wow won an award. This is an intimacy oil.
Oh, very good.
And so, as I mentioned, these were
love it
50-year-old issues that were popping up. And I thought, but I wanted to do it in a sophisticated way. My podcast I did yesterday, they said, there are products out here, but people are, we're in our 50s. This can still happen. And so, and I have 20-year-olds that are like, Mom, ew, why would you do that? It's like, when you're 50, you come talk to me. You will understand. Do a fully on our fit. 6 ingredients. We won an award for this. So we were in a little glass case. There were 20,000 attendees. And this helped get us on the map. So I think,
honestly, Kim, there is a need for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is not only a market, but women want to feel good head to toe and taking care of every inch of ourselves.
Yes, and it's a moisturizer for that too. But I think this is why, and I mentioned this to you before we started. I think this is why my 20-year-olds are a little, Mom, is I put stevia in it. So it actually tastes really good. Anyway, this is a very popular product. I'm very careful because like I said, I do trunk shows all over it.
Yeah.
And when I'm in the South and I get these lovely ladies and they want to hear all about our line. I talk about all of our body with retinol, the scrub and the, hyperpigmentation. And then I sometimes skip this because I don't want it to be.
It might not play at that. But I give you a lot of credit for thinking of going in that direction because it's brilliant. It totally makes sense given, as Marianne said, women want to feel good head to toe. And there's not a lot in the market.
There's not. There's not. There's products out there, but they're not sophisticated. And I say, put this on your bedside table. It's beautiful. And all our packaging is in glass and it's eco-friendly. I mean, I took my time. I really took my time. And
you can tell.
With those.
I can't tell you how excited I am for you. Leslie Ann and Leslie Ann is very much this way too, and maybe more cheerleaders for other people in our age group.
Oh, for sure.
That truly are changing their trajectory of what we thought life would be in their 50s and 60s. Like, it is a vibrant time in our lives. And the more that I associate myself and surround myself with women that are like-minded that way, it energizes me. Leslie Ann and I feed off each other because we actually have that disposition. Yeah. You're like that.
Yeah.
And I can just imagine you going into places, because I know you're all over the place, and we can talk a little bit about grit. You're the definition of grit. But you have an energy that is so infectious. I can't imagine this going anywhere except huge and big, because you and I spoke the other day just to kind of talk about what we're going to do meeting here for the podcast. And you talked about creating a community. Like, you have ambassadors now all over the United States.
Yeah. Well, because I just, and it was funny because it was a girl that was in her 30s, and I'm actually partnering with these women that are also entrepreneurs, and that's the part where I'm like, how are you doing this with little kids? But their whole age group, and they're perfect for these products too. I mean, it's like they want to look good, and they're so tired, and they're doing the whole mommy thing as we all did. Yeah. And so, I just sat down and I said, what are you doing? What's working? And they said, well, we have ambassadors. And I was like, ambassadors? How does that work? Well, I give them a commission. They represent our company. They're just out. And I was like thinking, this is brilliant. So we came up with, it's called the Coco Crew. And it's a group of women. And now I actually had a 26-year-old who's now a Coco Crew member in San Antonio, Texas. And she just, her mother was so crazy about these products. She's like, you need to come and talk to Kim. And so now she's promoting it. And so I've got it. And it's funny because I keep getting, my daughters are in marketing and they're trying to nail me down. Well, who's your perfect customer? And I'm like, well, age group wise, it's hard to say because
right.
And so, and one of the other things which I didn't bring today is a lot of my friends' husbands love this, but the pink label.
Which one is that?
This is the silk.
Oh, okay.
All your body with retinol. So what we did is we just took a label that looks like a piece of leather. It's brown, and we call it Coco Max for men. Cracks me up because a lot of men were like,
it's the same thing.
It smells different. I go, well, it's the same product.
It's exactly the same. Again, brilliant. So, I mean, it's like, I'm sure we've all had that conversations with our husbands. Like, you need to take care of, they need to take care of their berries too. Yes. But my daughter gave my husband mousse for his hair. And I think for like a year, he didn't touch it. And then he finally used it. He was like, oh, that actually, it works. I'm like, yeah, dude, it works.
Yes.
Like,
well, my friends' husbands that are using this are going out and about. And when they get the positive reinforcements, what are you doing? Wow, your skin.
Yeah.
So it works. That's what I have. The people that come back to me and give me their endorsements and why they love it, they go, it works. That's all there is to it, is it's so lovely. And they've given up their La Prairie. That is like $1,200. And they're like, we don't use that anymore. We use Coco Silk.
I think more men, especially my kids' age, so early, close to 30 or early 30s, they're definitely using. And it was funny. My youngest said, Mom, I saw that you're using blah, blah, blah. And I am. And he just raised his eyebrows and he's like, oh. So now I have to tell him about this. Robert also, my husband, He uses facial products.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
Coco Max
I will
is
remember
a big,
that.
and I mean, it's basically the exact same product. And men are seeming, but we're so women focused.
Of course.
And I'm not making it a huge part of our marketing, but
Yeah, right.
it's just, it was so simple.
Well, if they're
It just-
stealing their
all I did was
their
brand-
spouses,
Yes, I know.
they can have their own little dip their finger in their own little jar.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this. So you have a coast-to-coast presence now.
Yes.
So you do a lot of traveling.
A lot of traveling.
And is that fun?
It's tiring. I can tell you in the beginning, I was, I stayed home for many, many years. My husband was in London. He had a flat there for many, many years. And a lot of my friends would say, Kim, why don't you go? I'm like, and leave 4 teenagers at home? No, that is not going to happen. So I just didn't do it. So now, it's fun. We're going to some very cool places,
I
But
follow you, and you at the end tell people your Instagram and
Yes.
all your stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Well, my goal, and it's funny because I wanted, I'm learning and that's the other thing too, is about our digital marketing. And we have now 7 interns that are digital marketing interns. They're all college students, and I help them get college credit for this when it's with their program, accepting it. We start out, we do Zoom calls every week, and this is about our 5th group of women that are helping us. But now I have a TikTok team and a Meta team, and I promote them because a lot of the ladies like to stay on. And so it's funny because a lot of my friends are like, your marketing has skyrocketed.
It has.
They notice the difference. It's a little more
Your
professional.
visibility your visibility is amazing.
Well, and what I do is I just send them our content, like we're in. So we were out in Pebble Beach and we're doing fundraisers, but I'm meeting meeting incredible women. I mean, these women are doing some really cool things. Matter of fact, I wanted to talk a little bit about our product. We haven't launched yet. So I was out in
So this is the next direction you're going.
This is the next direction. It's a little bit of a pivot, but I feel like it's a need. And so I was out in California with one of our Coco Crew ambassadors, and she has a foundation for animals. So she has a fleet. She started with one, like a little Sprinter van, and they would go up and down California coast, and they would go to communities in need and offer veterinarian care. And she's, I think, neutered over 100,000 animals. And so she's amazing to me. Like, this woman has a huge amount of energy, and she's now a Coco, because she loves our product so much. She's now a Coco Crew member. But what she said was, Kim, we need a pet product. She has 5 rescue animals, and this time of year they get itchy and such. So we are now going to be launching Coco Pet.
That's wonderful.
So-
And that just goes right on the skin.
It goes right on the skin, and it's topical. And but what we're in, I would call it like a soft launch phase. It's not on our website yet, and I want veterinarians' endorsements. So she has access to hundreds of veterinarians, and so I'm getting it into all their hands and having them use it. But apparently, they had a little kitty that they saved on the side of the road that had ringworm, and I guess one of the side effects of the medication they give is
Dry skin, itchy skin.
Itchy skin. She put the intimacy oil
On it.
and I'm like, no, that is not what it is indicated for. It is not. And so I thought, you know what? Let's take this and tweak it perfectly. Matter of fact, this has an Egyptian geranium scent. It's just a super, super light scent. This has chamomile and just an extract, which chamomile, I mean, in large doses, but it's calming. And so, I mean, we've been using it on our pets. They love it. So we're going to launch, hopefully, my goal is Q1. But I want it in the hands of more veterinarians, and because we worked with a medical provider and to make sure every product
For the intimacy.
oil,
Yeah.
we tested, and so but that is our line.
I absolutely love it.
What I hope listeners are taking from this, okay, is so here you are in your 50s. You have to learn the chemistry of this.
Yes. It's a lot.
Figure out how to get it all properly tested.
Yes.
You had to think about the packaging and the keeping it environmentally sound, finding the glass. You said it's from Italy. And I think you said everything else is from the United States. Like the labels are made here. And
Manufactured.
so the manufacturing process. So you've got the chemical process. You've got the manufacturing process. You've got the testing process.
The branding.
The branding. the marketing, all of this you have done pretty much on your own with your team.
Correct.
Important to have a great team, but you actually built the team as well.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And you live it. Like, I can see it.
Oh, I live it and
Yeah.
breathe it. Like I said, I
Yeah.
hop up in the morning like a piece of toast. I'm ready to go. I wake up at 3. It's like 3 in the morning thinking about it. But I have to tell you, raising 4 children with a husband that's gone a lot was 10 times harder. Because it was like that.
Wow, that's true.
Driving and carpools and making sure everyone's happy. Matter of fact, I was having dinner with my son who was just in India for a month. And we were reminiscing about, I remember watching, and I always had to pay attention to how everybody was feeling, because especially I brought another baby into the mix. And I remember we took him to Philadelphia for one night, just him. And we were like, do you want to go to a fancy dinner? And he's like, I want to watch a movie. Wanted to eat in the bed. We ordered room service and we had hot fudge sundaes. And he, till this day, is 28 years old, remembers that one little trip we went to the Franklin Institute in Philly. We were living in Princeton at the time. So it was really cool. So compared to doing all of that, this is a piece of cake. But you got to have passion. Like, I love it. And the fun thing is, too, I mean, the scent, the feel, everything it does, the fact it makes women happy.
Yeah.
And they're getting noticed and they're saying this works. It really, really works. And I love the way I look. I love the way I feel.
I am so happy for you.
So thank you.
I am so happy for
It's
you.
infectious. It's like I like to want to become an ambassador.
Me too. And I was thinking Marcy, 'cause she does things like this from her home. She's raising 2 children. She's a Dartmouth grad. I mean, brilliant, smart.
And it's a great little side hustle.
Love.
I give my
She does
ambassador
side
a
hustles.
discount code, and also I can do better with influencers, and so I'm hoping we're gonna I have my goals for 2026, and we need to get some great influencers. But in their 50s, there's not a lot of midsters
Right.
that are doing this,
Right.
influencing.
You might have 2 more.
Yeah, well, that would be amazing. Well, one woman of the Jen Reed is like 55, and I mean, she works out so hard, and she ended up loving our products. I just ship them to him and say, just try them. She's like, I'm so busy. I was like, just try them. I gave her a discount code. And it was so funny. As soon as she posted, she fell in love with Coco Silk.
Wait, I know that name.
Yeah,
She does workouts. She's
does workouts.
very.
She's-
Oh yeah, no,
so
I know. She's
she's-
physical fit.
I
It's
don't know.
amazing.
Probably has like almost 1 million.
Yeah,
followers.
no, I know exactly
The
who you're talking
fact
about.
that she
She uses
posted-
this.
So what happened was hilarious. I have my phone and I was like, I feel this zzz, 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 and it was new followers. We got probably 50 followers within 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden, here my little Shopify ching 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 ching.
Oh wow.
So now I get why we need influencers.
Yeah.
I need to get more of those people because it really does work, but it's just hard to find those folks that
With the grit that you have and the excellent product.
The product.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's gonna get wherever you want it to be.
I hope so.
It will.
So tell our listeners
Yes.
where they can find your product.
Okay, so we have our website, and it's Cocoloco Body Care, because a lot of people just put in Cocoloco, and you have to put in bodycare.com. That's our website. Everything's on there. I'm so proud of our website. It's just beautiful. Or you can buy it in stores. I mean, we're in a dozen stores and spas, and you can buy them. And, if you're in the Hamptons, you'll see us. We're getting ready to launch in a second store there. We're out in California. We're in Aspen. We're in Park City. We're in Telluride. Charlottesville, Virginia. That's our first 5-star resort.
Yeah. I
And
love that resort.
That's awesome.
Yeah, when we got that, I was just exploding.
That's a big thing for Keswick.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what I also did is I felt like, we got it, but then I went and I met with their team, their estheticians, because, these are new products, but I wanted to educate them on why they're so special. And, once they saw the results, it really helps. Even the women who are working the front desk. Because there are a lot of times when you're checking out of a spa,
Right.
tell us what's the product that you would recommend. So,
Right.
yeah,
And it does cause a glow.
yeah, it really does.
It really
It's
it's the
you can look and
This-
right. This is not natural sunlight, but it really.
and I don't want to say it causes a glow because you put it on and you glow. It's over time. I can see your face. I mean, I know your face. It's the health of the skin.
Yes.
So it's not just you put it on and you glow. It works underneath,
The
and
product's not
actually,
glowing, your skin is glowing.
yes.
Well, go on our website because I list every ingredient, but also we put what the ingredients do. and why they're important.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that is why, I mean, people are just, they said, Kim, we're kind of like, you've kind of got a little bit of a cult following.
It's true.
So,
So to increase your cult following,
yes.
what is your Instagram?
Oh,
account?
I'm sorry.
No.
It's at Cocoloco Body Care. And my daughters that are in marketing say you can't buy followers, because I wanted to get to, like, I didn't think I was ever going to get more than 200 followers. Well, we're just shy of 2,000. So
That's so good.
and every single one is real. Like, I was like, should I just buy some followers? That'll make it so much easier. Like, mother, no. That is a no-no.
You don't need to.
Instagram will ding you, no. So where that is 100% real people, and
Yeah.
so that's where we are.
Oh, it's wonderful. I have to say thank you so much for being here.
this
It has
has been
been such a
fun.
treat.
Oh, it's
Been a fun conversation, and like testing the products is awesome.
It is great. No, yes, I hope listeners will tune in to this episode on AmericanMidsters.com. I also hope that they'll visit the website Cocoloco Body Care. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just a reminder before we wrap, Kim shared a 10% off code for our Midsters community. Use Midster for 10% off everything. We'll see you next time.